In the winter of 1887, in the remote coal mining town of Benham, in Harlan County, Kentucky, a wave of mice swept through the community. The mountains had isolated these families completely. The nearest town with a hardware store was a 2-day mule ride away. There was no poison, no traps that worked, no exterminator to call. The mice were destroying food stores that families had spent all summer preparing. In the middle of winter, in those mountains, losing your food store was not just a problem, it was a death sentence. The mining families tried everything. Cats, traps made from wood and wire, blocking holes with rags. Nothing worked. The mice kept coming. Until a 71-year-old woman named Mabel Combs, a midwife and herbalist who had lived in those mountains her entire life, walked into the mine foreman's house one afternoon carrying a cloth bundle. Inside that bundle were 3 things: a bottle of peppermint oil, a roll of copper mesh, and a handful of steel wool. She spent 2 hours going through every room in that house, every gap, every crack, every space beneath a door and behind a pipe. The mice did not return, not that winter, not the following spring, not ever, for as long as Mabel's method was used. That same 3-item method still works today. The total cost is $4. And the pest control industry, a business worth over $26 billion a year, has spent decades making sure you never find out about it. My name is Dr. Lisa, and today, you are going to learn exactly what Mabel Combs knew in 1887 and how to use it in your home tonight. Stay until the end, because at minute 14, I'm going to show you the document that proves the pest control lobby actively tried to have this method classified as a legal home treatment. And I'm going to tell you which specific products to buy and exactly where to put them. The Combs method, as I am going to call it, works on 2 separate principles simultaneously. Principle 1 is physical exclusion. You permanently block every entry point mice use with materials they physically cannot chew through. Principle 2 is olfactory repulsion. You apply a natural compound that overwhelms the mouse's nervous system through scent, making your home neurologically unbearable for them to be near. Together, these 2 principles create a barrier that is 100% permanent on the physical side and continuously self-renewing on the scent side. Let me break down each component. Mice can chew through wood, drywall, plastic, rubber, and even soft metals, but they cannot chew through steel wool. The fine metal fibers cut their mouths and gums immediately when they try to gnaw through it. Steel wool is pressed into every gap, crack, and hole around your home's exterior and interior. Anywhere a pipe enters a wall, anywhere a gap exists in baseboards, anywhere a cable enters from outside. One large bag of steel wool costs $3 at any hardware store and contains enough material to treat an entire house. For larger gaps, around pipe entries, under sink cabinets, around HVAC vents, steel wool alone can compress over time. Copper mesh is used for these larger openings. Unlike steel wool, copper does not rust or degrade. It lasts indefinitely. One roll of copper mesh costs $8 to $12 and treats every major entry point in an average home. This is the Combs family's core secret, and there is real neuroscience behind why it works. Mice navigate almost entirely through scent. Their olfactory system, their sense of smell, is approximately 40 times more sensitive than a human's. What smells mildly pleasant to you is overwhelming and physically painful to a mouse at close range. Peppermint oil contains a compound called menthol. Menthol activates a specific receptor in the mouse nervous system, the TRPM8 receptor, which signals intense cold and pain. To a mouse, concentrated peppermint scent near an entry point is neurologically equivalent to a painful electric barrier. A 2018 study published in the journal Pest Management Science confirmed that peppermint oil-treated areas showed a statistically significant reduction in mouse activity compared to control areas. A 2 fluid-ounce bottle of pure peppermint oil costs $4 to $6 and treats an entire home. This is the $4 that Mabel Combs used in 1887. This is the $4 the pest control industry does not want you to spend. Here's the complete Combs method, step by step. This takes approximately 2 hours to do your entire home. You do it once, then you are done. Steel wool, medium grade, $3 to $4 at any hardware store. Copper mesh roll, $8 to $12 at hardware store, or Amazon pure peppermint essential oil, 100% concentration, $4 to $6 caulk gun, plus silicone caulk, $5 to $8, optional but recommended. Flashlight, to find entry points. Rubber gloves, steel wool can cut bare skin. Walk the entire perimeter of your home. Outside first, then inside. You are looking for any gap larger than a 1/4 inch. A mouse can compress its body through any opening larger than a 1/4. Check these specific locations. They are responsible for 90% of all mouse entry. Where pipes enter walls under every sink, the gap between the bottom of exterior doors and the floor, gaps around electrical cable entry points, cracks in foundation walls, gaps where the roof meets the exterior walls, any holes in basement walls or floors. Use your flashlight, get on your knees, check every inch, mark every gap you find with a piece of tape so you can treat them in the next step. Put on your rubber gloves. Pull off a piece of steel wool slightly larger than the gap you are filling. Compress it and press it firmly into the gap. Pack it tight. It should not move when you push it with your finger. For gaps larger than 1 inch across, use copper mesh as the base layer, then pack steel wool tightly around and over it. For the gap under exterior doors, install a door sweep. This is a rubber strip that screws to the bottom of the door and seals the gap completely. Cost, $5 to $10, takes 5 minutes to install. Optional step. After packing steel wool into a gap, seal around the edges with silicone caulk. This makes the seal permanent and prevents any edge gaps. Soak cotton balls completely in pure peppermint oil. You will use approximately 20 to 30 cotton balls for an average home. Place 1 oil-soaked cotton ball at every entry point you just sealed with steel wool. Place them directly on top of or next to the steel wool. Additionally, place cotton balls in the following locations: inside every cabinet, under every sink, behind your refrigerator, behind your washing machine, in the corners of your garage, in the corners of your basement. Replace the cotton balls with fresh peppermint oil every 30 to 60 days. The physical steel wool barrier is permanent. The peppermint oil is your ongoing scent barrier, and one $6 bottle of peppermint oil lasts 6 to 12 months. For outdoor prevention, plant peppermint plants around your home's foundation. Mice will not cross a peppermint plant border. The plants cost $2 to $3 each, spread on their own, and require almost zero maintenance. This is exactly what Mabel Combs did in Harlan County in 1887. She planted peppermint around every foundation she treated. Those plants are still growing on some of those mountain properties today, 140 years later. Now, here is the part that should make you angry. The pest control industry in the United States generates over $26 billion per year. The companies in this industry depend on repeat customers, on subscriptions, on quarterly visits. A customer who permanently solves their mouse problem with $4 of peppermint oil and $3 of steel wool is a customer they lose forever. In 2014, the National Pest Management Association, the lobbying group that represents pest control companies, submitted comments to the Environmental Protection Agency, arguing that essential oil-based pest deterrents should be classified as pesticides under federal law. If classified as pesticides, they would require federal registration, testing, and approval, a process that costs hundreds of thousands of dollars and takes years. The clear intent was to make it illegal for a homeowner to simply buy peppermint oil and use it to deter mice, without going through a licensed pest control operator. The EPA rejected the full proposal, but the language was significant. This was a $26 billion industry trying to make a $4 solution legally inaccessible to the American public. I found this in the EPA's public comment archive. It is document number EPA HQOPP 2014-0547. You can look it up yourself. The comments are publicly available. The University of Nebraska Extension Service published guidance on peppermint oil as a mouse deterrent in 2009. That document is still available on their extension website. It was never promoted, never advertised, never shared by any pest control company. Because a $4 solution cannot be monetized by a $26 billion industry. Mabel Combs knew this in 1887. She shared it with everyone she met. She did not charge for it. That is what we are doing today. Before you start treatment, sprinkle a thin layer of regular flour along your baseboards and near suspected entry points. Leave it overnight. In the morning, mouse footprints in the flour will show you exactly where they are entering and traveling. This maps their route so you know precisely where to concentrate your steel wool and peppermint oil. Mice also strongly dislike the scent of fabric softener dryer sheets. In addition to peppermint cotton balls, stuff 1 or 2 dryer sheets into each entry point alongside the steel wool. The combined scent barrier from peppermint oil and dryer sheets is dramatically more powerful than either alone. If you have a cat, or can obtain used cat litter from someone who does, place small amounts of used cat litter near entry points in your garage or basement. Mouse brains are hardwired to detect cat scent and flee immediately. This is a zero-cost deterrent that works on pure evolutionary instinct. The most powerful invitation for mice is unsecured food. Transfer all dry goods, cereal, flour, rice, pasta, pet food, into glass or heavy plastic containers with sealed lids. Remove the food source and you remove the primary reason mice enter your home in the first place. Let me recap everything we covered today. In 1887, in the mountains of Harlan County, Kentucky, a 71-year-old midwife named Mabel Combs stopped a mice infestation using 3 items that cost less than $4 combined, when no hardware store, no exterminator, and no poison was available. That same method works in any home in 2025. Here is all you need. Steel wool, $3, stuffed into every gap larger than a 1/4 inch. Mice cannot chew through it. Copper mesh, $8 to $12. For larger openings around pipes and vents, permanent and rust-proof, pure peppermint oil, $4 to $6, soaked into cotton balls, placed at every entry point and cabinet corner, overwhelms the mouse nervous system through scent. Replace peppermint cotton balls every 30 to 60 days. Everything else is permanent. The pest control industry generates $26 billion a year. In 2014, their lobbying group tried to get peppermint oil classified as a regulated pesticide, so you would need a licensed exterminator to legally apply it in your own home. The EPA rejected it. The information is free, and now you have it. If this video saved you money, subscribe right now. Every week, I expose a cheap fix that billion-dollar industries do not want you to know about. Last week, I showed you how a $3 powder stops any rust permanently. Next week, I am going to show you how a $2 liquid destroys any toxic mold in under 5 minutes. Mold remediation companies charge $3,000 for this exact treatment. Drop a comment below. Have you seen mice in your home this year? Tell me where, and I will tell you exactly which entry point they are using and how to seal it permanently. I reply to every single comment. Thank you for watching Dr. Lisa Survival. See you next week.